Welcome to the Solo Success Lab, your microdose of field-tested strategies that actually work in solo practice. Don't waste time figuring it out alone. Get proven solutions delivered straight to your inbox. Now, here's this week's lab note. Why I turned down a dream client. Last week, I walked away from a potential high-value client that many attorneys would consider a dream addition to their practice. They were excited to work with me, and the case value was substantial. But it would have meant regular evening calls, constant urgent requests, and weekend work that would have invaded the life I've carefully built. So I passed. 5 years ago, I would have jumped at this opportunity without hesitation. But refining my solo practice through parenthood, a pandemic, and clearer priorities has taught me something invaluable. More revenue doesn't necessarily mean a better life. If you scroll through legal Twitter or browse law firm websites, you'll see the same story repeated. I built a 7-figure practice by billing 2,500 hours a year. Success means being available to your clients 24/7. If you're not working weekends, you're not committed enough. They tell you it's the only way, the best way, the, quote, professional way. They make you feel lazy for wanting to have dinner with your family. You can sleep when you die! Ugh. I always shake my head when I see this kind of messaging because they never tell you the real cost. The missed soccer games and dance recitals, the strain on your relationships, the health issues from stress, the friendships that fade away, the crushing realization that a hefty bank account doesn't make up for a half-lived life. A different path for a legal practice. Let me be clear, I work on my practice consistently and enjoy watching my revenue grow. It's satisfying to hit financial milestones that seemed impossible when I first hung my shingle. But these days, I define success differently. I stroll into my office around 10:30 a.m. after a peaceful morning routine and workout. I never miss my kids' events. Weekends are sacred unless I choose to work. And I've built in time to mentor and coach other attorneys and give back to my community. But most importantly, I wake up excited about my practice because it supports my life instead of consuming it. The real definition of success for solos. Success isn't about maximizing your revenue. It's about maximizing your life while generating enough income to support your ideal lifestyle. For me, this means having the flexibility to ease into my workday, being present for important family moments, taking weekends off to recharge, creating impact through mentorship and community involvement, and building financial security without sacrificing personal time. None of these require me to work 80-hour weeks, miss my kids' school events, or skip date nights with my spouse. How to build a life-first law practice. The key to maintaining a healthy life-work integration as a solo attorney is setting boundaries before you need them. Here's what works for me. I define my work hours after I define the time I need for sleep, family commitments, personal time, and rest. And then I build my practice operations within those constraints. This forces me to focus on high-value work and delete or automate everything else. For every potential client or business decision, I ask myself, will this make my life better or just make my practice bigger? Sometimes they align, but when they don't, I choose my life every time. I've defined my enough number, the amount that supports my ideal lifestyle while maintaining a healthy emergency fund. Everything above that is gravy, not a reason to sacrifice more of my life. Warning signs you're building a money-first practice. Watch out for these red flags. You regularly work through exhaustion because that's what lawyers do. You feel guilty about not checking emails on weekends. You measure your worth solely by revenue. You're always chasing the next big financial milestone instead of appreciating your current practice. Or you tell yourself you'll fix your work-life balance after hitting a certain income goal. The bottom line, your law practice should support your life, not consume it. Will there be weeks when a trial demands long hours? Of course. Days when client emergencies require extra attention? Definitely. But these should be exceptions, not the rule. You can build a successful solo practice without sacrificing your life. In fact, you must demand this from yourself. Because what's the point of building a, quote, successful practice if you're too burned out to enjoy it? So focus on building a sustainable practice, not one that promises happiness after just a few more years of grinding. That future happiness rarely comes, but regret almost always does. As you plan for the rest of the year, I challenge you to define success differently. Build a practice that serves your life, one that allows for slow mornings, family time, and making an impact in your community. Because in the end, no one ever wished they'd build more hours. That's your Lab Note for the week. Don't miss my next tested strategies and be the first to know by subscribing at adifferentpractice.com/subscribe.